Grew up with a group of friends. One's now the cox on the lifeboat. One owns 3 fishing trawlers. Others are working in the North Sea. Some of my friends have passed away. But we were quite a close-knit bunch growing up. We were all into fishing, dossing around in Newlyn, trying to earn a few quid where we could on the local fishing boats, doing anything to earn ourselves 10, 20 pounds. We would collect Corona bottles. We would take them to the local fish and chip shop. We would get 10p back a bottle. We'd do anything just to earn a couple of quid. Parents weren't very, very rich. There wasn't a lot of money in Newlyn then, although all our parents worked quite hard.
I've been born and bred and brought up here in Newlyn. My family still live in Newlyn and live in the same house where they've lived for the past 45 years. Went to local primary, secondary school. All of my 3 children followed in my footsteps, going to the same primary and same secondary schools that I attended. None
of us really had any money, so we did anything we could to earn some money. We would go get up 3 o'clock in the morning, we would land on the local Stevenson's trawlers, we would land on my father's boat, we'd get paid 10 or 20 pounds for 5-6 hours work, we'd then go to school. Me and one of my best mates, a chap called Michael Knoll, we had a little 18-foot punt and we would go mackerelling together. And we would skip school, we would miss school so we could go mackerelling. We could be earning £100 a day. Sometimes we would bunk off school. And that's how I got into fishing.
I have a lot of connection with Newlyn. I have lots of family, friends, and obviously business that's based here in Newlyn. I've seen a lot of changes over the years.
Right. So, I was fishing for 25 years and the government was making it very difficult for us to catch fish because we were in the EU and our quota system was getting less and less and less. So what we ended up doing, we ended up commonly known as backdooring fish. And we had to do this to pay the bills. I had family to feed. I had kids at school. I had boat repayments to make. We got caught, as long as lots of other people got caught. And we got fined £9,000. And I thought, I think it's time I find a new career. I've done this since I was 15, coming on to 40. My father owned a chandlery business selling fishing equipment to local fishing boats of Newlyn, and he was doing a small bit of playground equipment. So I thought to myself, right, okay, what I would do, I would keep hold of the boat, I would get a new skipper, and I would start a new business making playground equipment. That's how it started. I walked in here, got paid minimum wage from my father, and I worked for 3 or 4 months working what I was going to do, figuring out how I was going to do it. I never had any plan, I never had any business plan. I didn't really have any idea what the future held, but I thought I'll give it a go and I'll see what happens.
So at the age of 16, I left secondary school and my father was running his business, and all I can remember from a very young age is all I wanted to do was go and work with him in the family business, which is what I did. When I was 20, I believe, he decided to retire and the business was not going to continue. So I was lucky enough to basically move next door to where my dad's office was based, and then I started working with W. Stevenson and Sons. I was there for a few years and then I left to have my children. So I have three lovely children, James, Kate and Josie. And then I was a full-time mum and I was a single full-time mum. And things for me for a certain time were very, very difficult, bringing up obviously 3 young children. And then I met Drew. We, after a few years of being together, we decided to become partners within the business. So in 2008, is when Southwest Play started.
So one of our hardest moments was not having any money to pay the wages. That was one of the hardest moments, and that happened more than once. You had to take money out of Emma's personal bank account to pay the wages because we just weren't as established business as we needed to be. But we've grown now. We're better, we're stronger. Although we deal with some huge, massive £1 million projects, we also deal with little Auntie Flo who wants a rope swing for her grandson. We're still quite grounded as a business, family orientated as a business, spearhead the business. We are the business. It's always nice to be involved in something that is influential job. We've been involved with Legoland, we've been involved with the Olympic Park, we've been involved with Nats Rothschild's 40th birthday party, we've done window display for Selfridges, we've done films for Disney, and it's always quite proud to know that our business has been chosen to do that. And we also work at a little council fixing a swing, and so we're still quite grounded in that respect. So with the proud moments come the other proud moments that we're still very grounded and we've not got above our station, if you like. We like being involved with the big projects, the multi-million pound projects. We like to go abroad because it's good PR for the business, but we need to stay grounded and remember where our roots are and how the business has evolved. So whether it's somebody wants something fixing for 50, 60 pounds, or whether we're talking a 20, 30, 40,000 pound job, with the same amount of effort goes into the job, the same amount of thought process goes in the job. So those are the high points with running a business.
I'm not saying it hasn't been a struggle running our own business to the point where I am now. Obviously, all my children are kind of classed as pretty much adults. So a lot more of my time is consumed within the business. It's 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You've always got to be available at the end of the phone for a problem or an issue, whatever it may be, whether it's with an employee, a customer, a supplier, etc. So yeah, for me, there's always problems to overcome. There's also money issues. Have you got enough work coming in to cover the wages, the rent, the electric? So there's lots of downsides to running a business, as well as obviously good side. I think it's also, a great achievement to see family members join the business. Like Drew's son Joe is now worked for us for a number of years, and now Kate has joined full-time this year. So for me, that's such a good achievement as any, I feel.
A couple of times we've thought about sort of moving and buying somewhere, but it's very nice where we are. It's right in the harbour. Everyone knows where we are. It's good for the staff that we have. It's convenient for them. It's not the biggest of buildings, but we've now altered it in the way that we need it, in the way that we want it. So we're working with the constraints of the building, but it hasn't stopped us making anything. We've made bridges to go to Bangkok. We made the bridge that goes over the valley in Lost Gardens of Halligan that's over 30 metres long. So it hasn't really stopped us doing anything. I don't think that we would probably look to move. It's quite nice here, it's a nice view, plus there's Jalbert's down the road, we've got a couple of cafes. So I think we'd probably stay here. I think it's where our sort of heritage is, if you like. I think it's sort of really where we belong.